I'm going to have a baseline question here. Very simple. Why is racism still being experienced? If there are campaigns, there are ads, there are doctrines that have been actually signed by whites. I don't care what you think, and I do not care what you believe. I want to know, why is there a bill that has been signed by whites stating that no human should be discriminated because of their ethnicity, but you still find several situations in which that exists. Okay, that tells me one thing, and that tells me what I've known about the prehistoric records of the law, that you do not consider black people as human beings, because black people are probably and most likely, or should I say oppressed people, but I'm going to focus on black people, the only ones who persist in this struggle. I'm very well aware that there are other groups of humans who too, like black people, have persisted through struggling to actually establish their rights to peaceful living, their rights to education, their rights to speech, their rights to their community. But I'm letting you know that it is far more vigorous, and it cannot be ignored, although it has been, that the black masses have been destroyed the most by the law. The black people, as I'm going to tell you now, we were really better off if you just left us where we were. If you had left us within our place and you had not actually forced us away from our will and our roots and our families, and if you did not force us because you needed us to build your economy, we really would have been better off on several levels beyond the comprehension of white America. And this is the main thing I want to know. It's a really simple question. Why have you written laws stating that all humans are subjects to the law, but black people are never given those rights within the courts? They're never given those rights within the neighborhoods. You still have segregated neighborhoods as we speak. You know the neighborhoods are segregated because the wealthiest neighborhoods are always comprised of white people who must remain at the top of the power structure, despite their leaders signing a bill, right? Signing in signature and written in the foundation that this is how the law works, that these people are equal, but the wealth isn't equal, the treatment isn't equal, the status isn't equal. So what do you want me to do now? Call your law out for being the lie it is? Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you the experience of a black man. The black man is the single-handedly the most targeted, oppressed human being on planet Earth. Yet you still have the audacity to label him as the criminal. You have the audacity to label him under your systematic law procedures. That makes no sense. It doesn't make sense, brother, because you have at the end of the day done what you had to do to eradicate that black man, and the black man's natural biological response is to just defend himself by calling out oppression, by calling out profiling, and calling out targeting, to which your fragile ego takes offense and registers as a threat. So whose problem is that? The black man didn't write the law. The black man is just trying to gain the wealth and the necessary survival for his family and for himself moving onwards. Who in the end of the day is at fault for that? I'm telling you right now, straight up, okay? The doctrine that the white people have put into black people in America, because as you can tell, I'm not an African American. I'm a pure African, okay? We do not tolerate this. The last time the white people came to Africa, we drove them out. All right. So if white people are too uncultured to understand the difference between a black American and a pure African, that's your problem. All right. That's not my problem. All right. Straight up, I see no reason to fall into the same trap that you have created for my people and that you have tried to adopt for a worldwide belief. I am simply here asking a question that has remained unanswered since the civil rights era and since prehistoric data. Why has a signed bill not been assigned to black people? Why? Why does that bill always seek to be transcended, even when it comes to black man's rights with the police, when it comes to a black man's rights to peaceful living, when it comes to a black man's rights to shop without being profiled, when it comes to a black man's rights to walk on the streets without having some white paranoid mother with fear grabbing her purse or crossing the road and immediately telling the black community, telling the white community through her actions that black man is going to rob her and that black man's going to attack her. I don't want my baby to look like you, witch. Excuse me? I want my children to look like me. In what part of your messed up delusional mind did you think that one day I would want my son or I would want my daughter exhibiting the wicked witchcraft that you have tried to brush on me, which I know is nothing but your problem, your fault, and your concern? When I go out, it's very simple, and I'm just going to tell you. I wear my dress pants. I put on my pair of casual shoes. I wear a collared shirt. I go straight to my destination. I get my task done. I go home. At no point did I wake up in my day and say that I want a white oppressor, knowing the several white oppressors that have occurred since history, to be part of my vision. And somehow I still find them all falling on my lap. You will find that story to be the same for 99% of black people who you run into contact with. You can't escape this. It's not that I'm taking it to heart. I'm not taking it to heart. I just have so much compassion for the community that I'm telling you right now that this is the trap that they set for you. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. And when you don't realize the way that white people paint you, the things that they say about you, the things that they teach you about you, it does not make sense. And it doesn't make sense because they don't even know you. White people don't even know any parts of Africa. They don't. If you ask the average American today, is Africa a continent or a country, they wouldn't know which one is which. They wouldn't know if Nigeria was on the west or the east part of Africa. They wouldn't even know that in Africa we actually have well-established cities capable of holding worldwide mass events, from the World Cup in South Africa, from the architecture of Morocco, from the gold and the wealth of the mines in Congo. They couldn't tell you that. It would have to take me to tell you that, because like I told you, as a pure African, I'm the only one who can break through these psychological traps that white people have created for black Americans, and somehow do their best with their full force integrated to force this ideal upon me. All black people listen to rap music. But last time I checked, Nigeria has a population of like 300 million alone. And they don't listen to rap music there. They listen to drums, to guitars, to saxophones. So you tell me what the hell where did that stereotype come from? Most rap music is computerized anyway. So where are these stereotypes coming from? All black people eat chicken. Excuse me? What? Where did that come from? I'm very confused, because you could just do a search on West African food alone, and you will see the cultural complexity and the diversity of the foods that exist within that region, which is arguably the strongest black region in Africa, if not one of the strongest. You will see the diversity of the potatoes, of the yam, of the fruits, of the vegetables, of the fish. Some of these fish you will never even find fresh in an American market, never mind talking to us about chicken. So where do these stereotypes come from? Can you answer that question? I don't know. I am beyond confused within the grave why black people feel forced to adopt the false beliefs of white America without questioning how valid they are, or without questioning the information. But it is only up to us to really do our research to actually point and assess whether what they say is true. And I'm here to tell you that if it came from a white person or a white majority, whatever they have told you about yourself is a blatant lie.